Outside the Box should be viewed by mature audiences only. This show contains strong language, adult situations, drinking, ass-kicking fun, law-breaking nonsense, running with scissors, and just about everything your mother told you not to do. In other words, we are a bad influence and are irresponsible adults. Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live from Studio 630 in the burbs of Chicago. It is time now for another episode of Outside the Box. Outside the Box.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Chris Lujan, out of Tucson, Arizona. We are representing Psychotics Car Club.
Make and model.
Right here we got the 2010 Scion XV.
Favorite mod?
Favorite mod, actually have a couple on this car. Would have to be the air suspension that we did ourselves. We're running the Randoti kit on here. Plus a couple other just custom things we've done to it, and then also would have to be the full VIP interior that we have done in the car.
Why did you choose your ride?
Originally, actually decided to go with this one. I had been a huge fan of the Gen 1 XB when they first came out. Just wasn't able to get one at that time. When I was finally able to get a new car. It was when the Gen 2 was already out, so we decided to go that route. And then later on, got another second gen, and then about about 2 years ago, we decided to finally get into getting a couple of the Gen 1 XB. So have 4 of them total.
Any future plans?
Future plans for this one is actually going to be, it won't happen until after we finish doing the chop on our Rust car, but when that's done, we're actually going to pull this off for a little bit, maybe 9 months to a year, however long it takes, and we're pretty much going to be doing a rebuild on it. Going to keep everything the same style. It's just going to be everything needs to kind of be redone, revamped a little bit. So we are definitely going to be removing the rack for starters, installing the 5-axis kit that we have here. The interior is going to be all taken apart. The upholstery shop's actually going to redo the front seats since they're showing a little bit of wear on them, as well as finishing off the interior, doing the dash, the door panels, and then we're going to be reconfiguring the rear hatch area for the displays for the air suspension on that. And then hopefully when that's all done, we'll be able to actually go with the paint job on this one.
What's the favorite show you attend?
Favorite show that we attend kind of depends on, what we're going for. But if it's strictly for the cars, it would actually be a show here in Tucson that we do called the GS Open. Pretty much predominantly an import show. It's an indoor, really nice show. We actually get to see a lot of cars that we're not used to seeing out here. Come down from other cities, other states. Pretty fun. If we were doing it, more my style, I really like the shows that we do that, help out or give back to our community. So there's a couple of them that we do really good around the holidays. My favorite of those actually would have to be Miracle on 31st Street. Our whole club donates a lot of time, and we raise a bunch of toys, food, everything like that for some of the families in need in our community. So that's probably the one I really like the most.
Is there a particular show that you wish you could attend?
Wish I could probably attend Bovagon. It would be real nice, to get to see a lot of these cars that I think are at, the prime of our models, really well-built cars that we don't get to see, that are either, on the East Coast or just out in that area that we don't actually get to see here on the West.
So if you didn't have this, what would you be rocking?
Probably would be rocking something kind of totally different from this lineup. If I didn't have any of these XDs, we're actually thinking about when we're done building these ones to try to get into something in the 50s actually. Probably looking like a mid-50s F100 or possibly like a 50s shoebox Ford or something like that.
Is there any new trends you would like to see start?
Not any new ones I'd want to see start. Maybe see some trends end. Not really a big fan of trends myself. It would be nice to see actually a lot more custom stuff going on in the scene. Maybe get some more custom builds, custom fab work, anything like that people can do. If it's not your skill set, just maybe, asking for some help on stuff like that, or, possibly using the shop, anything that, get you a little bit custom more than the next guy. That's what I pretty much would like to see happen more in the sign-on scene. Pretty much it for the questions that was asked of us. Just a little bit more, going on. At least in our backdrop here, we decided to include some of the cars from our club here in Tucson. Obviously, we didn't have too much space back here, so we just decided to fit as many as we could back here. But besides mine here, we got Charles TC here. He's actually the vice president of our club in psychotics out here in Tucson. Next to him, we got James in his 2.5 there. Right next to that, we've got Big James Release Series. He's actually the second person in charge here in our Psychotics Car Club in Tucson. And then the other two cars in the background there are just a couple of our daily drivers. The yellow one actually belongs to my fiance, and then one next to that is actually what I use for my daily driver. Of my cars, the only one that's missing here right now is actually the Rust and Teal, rat rod that we've been building. Hopefully we get done on the chop on that one here pretty soon, and we get those all out together. Hopefully we can be posting that up pretty soon. But as far as our cars and our backdrop, that's pretty much everything about us for right now. So appreciate the time that you guys gave us, and hopefully see you all soon.
Shit.
Hi, Pee-wee.
Hey, what up?
What did I miss?
I don't know. Not too much.
Welcome back, everybody.
We're back.
We're back. We got the casting couch.
We have a black couch now, and it's got cup holders.
We need to
Ooh.
we need the table.
That beer don't taste right.
Doesn't taste right.
Tastes a little stale. Try it. That might be crazy.
Tastes the same. We drink Michelob Ultra. I guess we're a bunch of pussies.
That's what the internet says. Hey, at least we're not drinking, what do they call those things? The seltzers. What do they call it? Claws. White Claws.
Yeah,
We haven't stooped down to that level.
the guys that are drinking White Claw are telling us that if we drink Michelob Ultra, we're pussies. Anyway,
That's the
Well,
pot
then
called
I'd
the
be
kettle
curious to know
black.
what they're called.
welcome back. Episode number 29.
Wow.
Last one in our 20s, motherfucker.
We're in
back.
the 30s.
We're glad you came. We actually did some tech today.
We did some tech today.
We did some tech. We're going to roll that, and hopefully you guys will appreciate what we're doing. We're starting some projects, and as projects end, we'll just roll some new ones in. So we've got some stuff. What are we working on here today, Pee-wee?
Well, let's see. We have a set of taillights. We have an eBay special grill, and yeah.
So we're going to start out doing some basic, easy stuff, okay? Here we are. It's going into wintertime. You guys are going to be sitting around the house going, dude, I want to work on my car. This is stuff that you can do, simple little things, things that the beginner guys can jump into. I guess maybe the grill's not a beginner thing, but Jesus Christ, it still smells like fiberglass resin
It
here.
reeks really bad.
I'm buzzing
It's
on that.
strong.
So we're going to do some tech. We do got to do what we should have done was put randoed parts on James' car, but we didn't.
We could bring it in, roll it. We have to move some stuff around, and
I'm getting loopy.
that stuff is strong, man. I can't believe how strong it is.
So what we're going to say right now is make sure when you do fiberglass resin, which you'll see in the later part of this thing, that you've got a
Proper
well ventilated,
ventilation.
because we are all about the safety.
Yes, of course.
What else we got going on?
We have tech.
We did.
We have.
No, I'm talking about other shit. James, you got anything going on?
Oh, we're gonna talk about what's new and what's happening
We got to
now.
talk about what's new and happening. We got to do that.
James, what's new?
Nothing right now.
How's the Benz?
Benz is good.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad he didn't bring it, but
Yeah, it's a super soft ride.
We asked him to bring it. So
it
we could
was
do
so
tech.
pleasant. We were like all like busting his balls about the Benz, and then we all get in it, and 5 minutes later, we're like,
Yeah.
let's just sell the XBs and just buy Benzes. Like,
Yeah, for sure, dude. We were all like,
it was so pleasant.
The funny part was, we roll in to get tacos, dressed like this,
Three
and
bums getting out of a Benz.
Get out
probably
of a
looks like
Benz. We're driving around like these guys think we're drug dealers.
either that or it looks like it's stolen. One of the two. We looked out of place in the wrong car at a weird location.
But the
because-
best part was going into Walmart and getting Hot Wheels and coming out and jumping in the Benz.
Yeah, it feels important. I feel like important when I'm in the Benz.
How do the back seats feel, Kevin?
They feel pretty good because I don't like the back seat and anything, and I'm like, I don't mind this.
You're not a backseat
The
guy
real test was there's a set of train tracks on the way out of town here,
that are bad.
and when we're in anything, we have to hit it going 2 miles an hour, or you will bottom out or smash your front end. No, he hits it coming in, just barrels right over, and I'm like, oh my god.
I think there's something wrong with this beer.
I'm telling you, something doesn't. Is it old?
It's something's not right. James, I'm gonna go steal one of your apples.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap out.
I'll get you one. Anyway, so I'm gonna knock that over. I'll tell you what, guys.
Guaranteed.
One of the things I wanted to bring up is I know James was a little bit late coming to it, but this video cast has been going on for a year.
It's been over a year.
And
Right.
it has been. It was actually a year right around Camping Drag, so
Okay.
I was pretty excited. I was going back and listening to the old episode. Like, I listened to the first
How
episode.
rough are those first episodes?
I don't know about watching it, but I think that we were pretty good. And
I'm gonna have to go back. I think the oldest episode I listened to recently was like, I don't remember. It was like within the 20s though, so it wasn't even that far out.
And you guys are tucked in the corner.
yes,
Yeah, we used to. Well, first it was this
it's
way,
winter. We're stuck. We got all
and
the
then
cars
it
in.
was, and then it was this way, and then we started going this way, and then we were going this way, and now we're back to shit.
Way to go!
And you
It
said,
didn't bust.
And you said Oz was gonna drop his pineapples.
What the fuck? That cup holder does not work like a cup holder.
It's
by the
only
way.
like this shallow, dude.
It's
It's
like
like,
an inch deep.
and it's way wide. Anyway, we went back. I went back and watched the first time. I was entertained. Hopefully, you guys think so.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch
Well,
the first episode.
Here's the thing. I listen to a lot of podcasts, okay? I've been looking for new ones.
Same.
And you listen to some of them. Well, let me rewind that back. I'll take it to one that I was huge on. Art Lifestyle Podcast. Okay? I'm not going to rip on it. It's a good video podcast, whatever. 45 minutes before they talked about cars.
Yeah.
Here's our updates on tech. Here's our updates on what happened with the basketball game last night. Here's our updates on this. Dude, I
And he
was like-
says if you don't like it, he don't care.
and that's fine, but it just, dude, I don't know.
And there's the thing. I've tried listening to a bunch of podcasts. I can't make it through one. I can get through a few.
Yeah.
And there's some where I'm like, this ain't for me.
And I know we talk a lot and we ramble a lot, and hopefully you got Jim's just cover up his mouth because it stinks in here so bad. maybe it wasn't a
Maybe
good
we ought
idea.
to open the doors.
Maybe it wasn't a good idea to do the fiberglass resin before we do this.
We probably should have. That's all
We'll
right.
put that down on the thing, but
That's a note for the future.
I know we ramble a bit, but I think that there's enough comic value that it makes people want to
I
watch.
hope so.
So, I do want to say though that on our last episode we were really heavy on the XP shit, and we like completely forgot about the Kia guys
Everything
and all the
else.
other guys.
We need Kia people to talk to us. I don't know anything about them. I'll tell you what I do know about Kia Souls. I've been to a lot of salvage yards. Every yard has a puke green Kia Soul. That same color. Every yard.
That color's hideous.
It's something about that color that every yard has at least one in that color.
It was hilarious because Pee Wee brings it up. He's like, every yard has this puke green color, and I turn around. I'm at my stall at work. I turn around and I go, like this one?
I'm like, yeah, just like that. It's like they get crashed into or something. I don't know, but
Maybe they just get tired of the color. I don't know.
I want Tony to come on.
We'll do another interview here shortly, but I think
We
it's
got
cool.
tech to do.
I like the tech. I'm looking forward to the tech.
The tech is fun.
It is fun, and we mix it up a little bit. But let's not go back into that. Let's talk to some other shit. I know we had the calendar. I got to bring that up because I about ate my fucking words because I'm sitting here. Yeah, I made the calendar, and then like 2 days later, I didn't make the calendar.
By like 2 votes, right?
The only reason I'm in the calendar is because Mr. Alan Singer, his pictures didn't go through.
How did he fuck that up?
I don't know.
Alan, what?
So
I hate that calendar period where you gotta like keep bumping stuff. I'm like, oh my god.
well, dude, like we said,
It's fun and it's part of the deal, but it's like overwhelming.
what's
sometimes.
the deal with this other calendar now?
I looked into it. It's a closed group, and I guess it's for first gens. I'm like, fuck that. Whatever.
I heard people talking about it, but I haven't
Who's
seen
in it?
about it.
Who's on it? I don't know.
Daniel mentioned something about it, but I didn't see nothing.
It's the guy. It's run by the guy that's got the like Dixie cup design on his car.
Oh.
I don't remember his name.
Okay.
And I went on the page.
Is that like done out of spite or what? Where
My
did it
take-
come from? Is it new?
My take is, yes, it was done out of spite. But apparently he was talking to Wick about it, and Wick said that's fine, just don't do it at the same time. But apparently that calendar, there's no votes involved. It's just you put your picture up, and if he likes it, it's good. So we do not endorse the second calendar.
And there's no second gens in it.
We only endorse the first calendar because we're all about XB1 and XB2 love.
You know what? Box Lifestyle should do something, not a calendar, but something along those lines of like
It would
a
be
thing.
cool to have it with other cars in there, but it was fun, and I know there was a lot of people that are tired of it, but you know the problem with it is it's just that there's a lot of jealousy in it.
It's
and,
5 years. We're 5 years deep too.
and the thing that gets me is that it is really about the fact that some people are just buttered; they don't want to do anything. That I sound like an asshole. Let me reiterate on my thing, okay? I'm not saying that if you got something and my shit doesn't stink. I'm just saying I was the same way. I came to XB's, I didn't have anything, and I put in 10 years into a vehicle, and now, you know, I've gotten to where I am. There's a lot of people out there that come in here and they're like, oh, here we go, look, here I'm cool.
I mean, I'm 5 years in, and I feel like
Now, I'm not saying that again that I'm being elitist. What I want is I want to inspire you to not just take take things a little bit further and go, hey, he showed me how to paint some parts. He showed me how to do some fiberglass work. He showed me how to do this or showed me how to do that.
taillights.
And went out and did it. And we're going to start a part for this where if you guys are doing your project, I want to see the pictures.
Almost like an under construction.
Yes. So
I love under construction.
I do too. And that's it. We want to bring it to where we want to inspire you guys to go out there and put in some work and learn something. Okay?
James, you got any input on this? You have.
I've learned it, you watching YouTube. I wanted to paint my taillights red. I saw everybody else. I liked it. I didn't care for the clear look. You know? And I think that's the thing. Everyone out there is afraid to do something. I think they should do it.
And that's exactly it.
If someone's going to do something and someone's going to say, oh, that looks like shit, who cares? You did it. You know?
I've had projects that I've completely fucked up and had to either throw out the part
or
put in way too much time on something.
Yeah,
but that's just it, and that's what I want people to understand. You know, we all have fucked up.
There's a lot of trial and error here. This isn't like
overnight.
Yeah.
Well, we live in this time frame where
instant gratification.
You put your pictures up on Instagram, and everyone's like, "Oh, great." Okay, well, you didn't see the fucking other side where the welds are all fucking cobbly, or the fact that I fucked something else up and had to redo it. You know, and that's the thing.
We all that night where you're out here until like 1 a.m. and you have to go to work the next day, and you just.
Or I'm sitting here trying to put an exhaust on fucking Dust Creature, and I'm fighting it till 9 o'clock at night, and then I put it together in a video in 5 minutes, and you guys think it's cool. That's it, okay? I get so many times people ask me, well, if I had your skills, well, you know what? I didn't have my skills. And what I started this video cast for was to show you guys and to give back to that. And that's what I really started it for. Is because I wanted, if you guys go back before even this video cast and look on the Wicked Garage page, there's me sitting over there showing you how to paint rail and box on the back of my car and whatnot.
I forgot you made a video of that.
Mm-hmm. But
I still like that.
That's what I want, dude. And I don't want to come off as an asshole, but I want people to be inspired to go out there and work on their cars.
Well, and that's like I've done 2 videos with Jesse so far. We're working on a 3rd and 4th. I'm starting out kind of doing just like more basic stuff for like people who don't know. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's it. And we need to go back and do like a video of you taking your interior parts and prepping them and sanding them and putting them in the car. Because there's guys out there that are going to make those simple mistakes where they didn't sand the part, or they used one paint or like a primer, and then they use a primer or paint from another company and it attacks the other one, and then they're like, well, what the hell do I do?
Oh, I've screwed up paint really bad. Paint is paint isn't hard, but there's things you need to know.
Well, everything is like that. You could go and put the paint down great, and then not have paint sanded the part, and then the part flakes off in a week later, and you're like, oh, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
I want to give that input so they're not making those mistakes. And that's why I want you guys, to come to the show.
What makes me crazy is when somebody starts providing false information and then wants to argue about it after you prove that you're right.
But that's it. There's so much misinformation out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like an asshole a lot of the time because I'll get on there. There was a guy on there the other day who's like, I want to put 19s on my car. And this guy goes, well, that's going to screw up your axles and it's gonna lower your MPG. Dude, there is no car on this fucking planet, or XB on this planet, that's axles aren't as bent as they are on that one. And I'm like, I ain't had a problem.
Well, it's common knowledge that you put bigger wheels on, it takes more resistance. And I'm sure over time maybe the axles might take a little more wear and tear. It's not going to destroy them overnight.
Well, but
I get it, but I feel like it's like a negative mindset towards anything. Anytime you change anything on a car, you're going to get some type of reaction.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Don't shit on it. If it can be done, don't be like...
Well, there's a lot of people out there that are doing that. I don't want this guy to put 19s on it because I'm running 15s and I don't want him to be outdo me.
Yeah. If that's the reason somebody's telling you not to do something,
But there's a lot of that out there.
Well, there was somebody who's like, I was thinking about rhino lining the car. I'm like, don't do it. For a lot of reasons.
If you're going
to I tell people, I wouldn't tell you to do anything I wouldn't do, or vice versa. You know what I mean? And I would never give out wrongful information deliberately. If somebody does correct me, which I have been,
and I'll admit if I'm wrong.
I'll admit it and accept it, and either delete my comment or edit it so it's accurate, or I will acknowledge that the other person is right.
So, anyway, I guess I got quite long-winded there, but...
It's this fiberglass, man, I'm telling you. This stuff reeks.
So, we're going to shut up, we're gonna go into the beginning of like 3 or 4 different.
I'm gonna put on a jumpsuit.
You're gonna put on a jumpsuit.
I'm gonna put on the jumpsuit.
I'm working the wrong clothes, but I didn't get dirty.
Yeah, I don't know why you wore those shoes.
These shoes were already screwed up when I did the other one, another video. But
The exhaust one.
yes.
I was
So-
thinking, could you just take that
Anyway,
air hose tool?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's greasy. Anyway, we're gonna shut up, guys. We'll see you in the next sections, and hopefully you can get a little bit out of it. If you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them down below. And stay
Or any
tuned.
tech ideas they want to see.
Tech ideas you guys want to see, let us know.
There you go.
We'll do
Might
simple
try and
shit
provide some.
and whatnot, and we'll let you know. So, all right, let's shut the fuck up.
Send it.
Every day and every night, every night. Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? I wanna know. I wanna know.
So, we got another project we're doing. We got an old set of taillights here. These were, which ones are these, James?
Those are the OEM.
OEMs? These have been taken apart, and I thought that was painted on the outside. It's painted on the inside. So I was wet sanding them because I was going to clean this all up, and we were going to redo the candy red on it, but obviously I can't since it's that way. So what I did was I'm wet sanding them flat. I've gone ahead and on these, and here you'll see why we're redoing this because it's got latex paint on it. But in here, you've usually got some, it says like Toyota and whatnot on here. You can't really see it, but we're going to sand that flat. Also, we've got some small cracks on here that we're seeing, and we got this.
Yeah, I did a number on it walking through the door, and I kind of just bumped it.
We just did that.
These
Luckily, we got the
plastics
feet.
are getting old, but
So we're going to fix that. But what we're going to plan on doing with these is I think I'm going to light tint them. And then I'm also going to do a black outline ring so that'll kind of fill up our cracks and whatnot. These cracks aren't deep enough that it's anything other than you see them. Once I put clear and whatnot on it, it'll be fine. You won't get any water in it or anything. So I'm just going to kind of wet sand it a little bit because anything you paint, you got to sand. This here is a piece of 400 wet. When I say wet, that means you're going to use water with it. So I got my water bottle, wet it down. I'm just going to sand out all the little shit, and I'm going to make it so it's not shiny. And like I said, anything you paint, whatever it is, paint. Not fucking peel coat or Plastidip or any of that. You're going to want to make sure that you sand it. Because if you don't, it's not going to stick. So, here we go. Knock this down a little bit more up here, I think. Where did I put my paper towel? Keep yourself a paper towel because you can dry it off and you can see. And now there's like a little piece that was molded into it. It was kind of like a little square for something. I don't know what they use it for, but I needed to get that out. Now, the reason I'm doing that is when you get done, and this whole thing's going to be clear coated, it's going to give you a much better finish. And you won't see that. So when you see it at a show or whatever, the light would kind of show where that was. And since we're clearing over it, it probably wouldn't be legible anymore. So, all right, I'm at one spot up here where I got this other crack. All right, now we're pretty much flat all the way across. And that's all the way around. So say, now, obviously it's going to be a pain in the ass to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach over here. I'm going to grab myself a scuff pad. This is a gray scuff pad. They come white, they come red, they come all kinds of different colors. The colors indicate the grit of it. This one is about 600 grit if it's new. This one's a little used. But all you have to do with this is basically scuff over. It's basically like a Brillo pad type of thing. So like you use for cleaning the dishes. But it'll scuff it up. And you can see here, we're nice and shiny. And now, it's not. And that will make it so that you can paint over it. This color right here, this is what I use if I'm in the body shop and we do it a blend panel, okay? A blend panel is basically when you're doing a color, say we're replacing a fender and we're going to put a new fender on there, we need to paint the hood and we need to paint the door for it to match. You guys think that you just put paint in the thing and it's going to match. It doesn't work. Every manufacturer, when they do their paint process, runs their paint through a long line that gets to the freaking computer robots that are spraying it. Every color goes through there. So say they're spraying camo green one day, they're going to do salsa red the next. They freaking clean out the lines the best they can, but you can't always get all the paint out. So when they do the salsa red the next day, this one might be a greener tinge in the first couple of cars because it has a little bit of green paint in it. So that's what's called a variant. Every manufacturer will do that. They'll put out a list of it. Your paint supply companies will have chips of it. So when I go in and type in your paint code, your Toyotas are usually a 3-number paint code, and you'll type that in your computer, it'll pop up all your different variations. Redder, bluer, greener, whiter, whatever. Lighter flop. Lighter flop is a pearl thing. Has more pearl in it, allows it to flop a little differently. There's all different variations. That's why you guys that are online and you're going, I need a camo green bumper. Okay, it's probably not going to match. How much? Here's a question for you, especially you Thundercloud guys. How many Thundercloud guys out there your bumpers match? Very few. And the weird thing about some of that is, especially when it comes to colors, when you're spraying, I've sprayed cars where I've sprayed the bumper with the same paint that I did the body, and it looks different because something about the plastics don't let it sit right. So sometimes even when you're doing it, you've got to tint your bumpers if you want them to match. But got off on a tangent there, but it gives you an idea. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure when you're doing these that they dry out, because I'm looking at it now and I'm seeing a few spots that are a little shiny yet. But when we're done, that's what we got. See how it looks when it's wet? I'll go ahead, get the other one ready, and then we'll come back and we'll show you how we're going to do that. Chip, we got our piece here. Now, if you don't have the piece, there are ways to do this. We would end up sanding this down, putting a little filler in there. And actually, maybe we'll do that because we do have this piece right here, Pee-wee. How pristine do we want these? Anyway, so...
I know if that somebody wants them.
All right, we'll do it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to fix our piece here. We got this. Now, anything we do, bodywork-wise, has to be sanded. I can't expect anything to stick if it doesn't have some scratch. Now, when I say scratch, what does that do? Well, as I sand this and I put scratch in it from, this is a piece of 100 grit, so this is fairly heavy duty. As I'm doing this, it's putting little scratches in there, and that's when I get done, it'll allow the glue to stick in those grooves and in the grooves in there, and it will actually bite in. Now, what am I using? We're going to use some stuff that you can get anywhere. I bought some Gorilla Glue. This is basically 5-minute epoxy. We got this at Walmart, $5. Now, one of the things you can do also, if you can, and I can feel this, I may go and run some epoxy on that and then I'll let it dry and I'll sand it, and then we know that it will be completely waterproof. So if you've got something that you're not sure, you can do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and sand these parts. And I'm probably not going to get too much on the edges of this, and you don't want to do too much because it'll make the part not sit right. But I do definitely want to focus on the back here. And I'm going to put some heavy scratch on here. Like I said, this is 100 grit. So now you can kind of see I got some scratch in there. You can see the scratches. This has actually got a pretty good texture. I'm not going to worry about it on the outside or the inside of that. Give me a piece of cardboard. Got me a nice Hot Wheels piece here. Now this is a 2-part 5-minute epoxy. You've got your glue and your resin and your hardener. I'm just going to put a little bit out here. And of course, this is a brand new one. If it doesn't want to use, there we go. You want to make it so that there's about the same amount of each. Make sure you put the cap on right away so you don't leak all over the place. Here, put that lid on, Pee-wee.
All right. Take it out, don't worry.
You're going to mix this up. You want to make sure it's completely mixed together. If you don't, the hardener is going to harden, the glue's not, and it ain't going to do shit. So I'm going to go ahead and run it around my edge a little bit. That way it'll kind of leak around the sides. I'm going to take a big piece. I'm going to stick it in here. Try not to get this on my fingers like I already did. Oh, fingerprint.
Oh no, are you making a mess over there?
So now I've got a little bit of excess. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to run it around the edge. That's going to fill my crack up a little bit, just like I'm saying we're going to do over here with this. There. I'm going to go ahead and do this other edge too, just in case. Now, if that, where those cracks were, say this one didn't look like it was level, so when I sanded it, you can maybe see a little bit. I think it's fine, but I went ahead and did it anyway. You could fill it up a little bit. Now, this says 5 minutes. We're probably going to let this sit overnight, just to be sure, because we want to know, and ooh, look at that, it's already moving. Now, on something like that, how it was moving, I'll run over here. Get myself some tape. Because I've done this many times where you're like, all right, that looks great. You go in the house, you come back the next day, it's fucking slipped off the edge over here, or it's laying on the floor, and the glue's dry, and it's not obviously where you want it. So we're going to put it right there. We're just going to put a piece of tape over it. Now, it's not going to mess up my glue. It'll actually push it into the groove a little bit, and that'll hold it in place. And then we'll let that dry, like I said, overnight. We'll come back and we'll sand that again with a little bit of 400, maybe a little more if possible, if we need, because depending on the glue you get and how hard it is, sometimes it's a pain in the ass.
Temperature varies too.
Temperature does vary.
Temperature is a huge factor.
Oh, just like we're going to talk about later with our fiberglass resin, it is definitely a big thing. If you're doing this in July, 5 minutes, maybe in December, half an hour. You don't know. Depends on your hardening. All right, so we'll go ahead and put this away, and we'll go grab something else.
Guys, you all know about the eBay special grill for the first gen Sign XB. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to shave this bitch out.
Wait, hold on. Before you guys get carried away, I want this thing.
Alright.
Fuck that thing.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flip it upside down. We don't need to worry about protecting it. It's going to get all modified. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off the front grill. So there's a few screws on here, which are all Phillips. I'm going to take them all off. And then after this, I'm going to give it to Jim, and Jim's going to start teaching you what he's going to do. It's so much easier if we had electric.
Get the bombing.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to Jim, and Jim's going to explain what he's going to do.
All right. Thanks, Jim, for taking that all apart. I'm going to have you start taking shit apart. That was a lot faster than if I would have done it. So, now, what we want to do is, obviously, we've all seen this fucking grill. Who doesn't have the fucking eBay special? I don't, but what we're going to do is, we're going to make this one off. Gonna get out my nice grinder here. Now, you can do this with a nice piece of 80 grit sandpaper, whatever you got. This makes it a lot faster. What we're going to do is, we're going to smooth this grill out, so it's all going to be just one piece. So, to do that, we're going to hook this up. We're going to grind off the face of this. We don't really want to get too far up here because this up here, you don't want to get any buildup on that because of the way the hood fits. So we want to try to keep it just on the face. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this with the... That smells great.
Smells like China.
I should probably have safety glasses on. Did you pick the ones that got the most freaking overspray on it?
Up? Which ones do you want? No, I'll just use those.
I'll just use these. Be safe. Okay, so basically what I did was I used my, where did I put that? This is a 90-degree die grinder. Basically, you put it on, puts different attachments on it, whatnot. This is a freaking 36 grit sanding disc. I basically used it on here to sand it. All we're going to do is we wanted to rough this up just like we were doing on the other shit. Nothing will adhere to something until it's flat. So I went ahead and ground it down. I really like this line here. Now, I don't have to get all the way in that line and get in there because I've got a lot of scratch on here that's going to hold this in place. And I'll tell you, I know this from experience when I say this, if you don't scratch that, it's not going to stick. I've wasted 3 days, got all that done, went to freaking start doing my body work, and the thing cracked off in one piece, and I was like, well, that ain't going to work. Mind you, if that happens, you just grind this part down, put it back on there, put some resin on it, stick it back on, you're good. But don't make that mistake. So, now we got that. I didn't go up in the attic yet and get the t-shirt, Pee-wee.
Oop.
So, we're going to have to shut this off, and I'll go grab us a t-shirt, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a piece of a t-shirt. Now, you can use fiberglass matting. It makes a little bit more of a mess. And my theory is this. Everybody has a t-shirt floating around that is a rag or whatnot. You grab those shirts and you make this. The nice thing about the shirt is when you do it, it's got a tighter weave than the fiberglass does. The fiberglass will actually allow the resin to run through and it makes a mess. With a t-shirt, it absorbs more of it. You do get a little bit, some of it to go through if you get it heavy, but it works out great. I stole this. James will understand this from building sub boxes. When you used to build fiberglass sub boxes and you would use fleece, it's basically the same thing. So that's how I got that idea. I had a buddy that worked at a stereo shop and he showed me the idea of that and I went, anyway, I'll shut up and we will come back and do that. high as fuck.
Oh man.
I'm going to
This
tell you
fucking-
guys again, make sure
You gotta open the fucking window or something, because this is bad.
make sure that you got ventilation
What was that?
for the fire.
What the fuck? I heard something click and move. over.
Kevin's losing it. Kevin's losing it.
We're gonna
He is high as hell.
We just
No.
took a bunch of mushrooms and we're going to sit here and record the whole thing.
We're DMT like Joe Rogan.
Hey, gotta listen on Monday. He's coming back from fucking Sober October.
Oh
It'll be a
god.
good one to always listen to. Anyway, we're not going to talk a whole lot, but we want to thank you guys for listening and watching and giving all that input. Hopefully you guys like what we're doing. We're making the changes. If you like something, you don't like something, put it down below. I might tell you to fuck off, I might not.
We might value your opinion.
We will definitely value your opinion.
No, I do.
So we thank you guys for watching. You know, we've been doing this for a year now. What we will ask is this, though. If you guys could help by sharing and help us get the word out. We want to grow this as much as we can, and when we grow and sell some products, we can make things even better. And
We got a whole shitload of vinyl too.
yeah, we do. We got
Like a lot.
So-
Because I brought over like 40 feet, and then he found the vinyl that we didn't have last time.
so we got a lot of vinyl. So we got
So
some
we got a
stickers.
lot of
Maybe we're
vinyl.
gonna. Hey, speaking of that, what about the contest?
We had a meme contest. Well,
did.
I had a meme contest. This was my
This
operation.
is your Pee-wee is now in
so-
charge. Hold on a second. Pee-wee is now the guy that is going to run our Facebook page. So he is the guy.
So if there's a problem, just come complain to me. That's basically what it. Is that getting hard yet?
Dude,
Or
that's fucking hard as fuck. That
Okay.
sounds really bad off camera.
Wait, something's get hard?
I did not take any Viagra.
oh, the good. That means the chemicals. Not only the chemicals are working over here, they're working over there too.
I was gonna say, so that means the casting couch really is gonna come in handy.
Oh, no. So I had a meme contest, and like I don't know if I didn't like describe like specific about like, what I wanted, but I got like Jordan gave me the memes exactly what I want. He gave me exactly what I wanted.
Well, you got to.
Like they were like he did the one with the cat and the woman yelling.
I love that meme.
Dude, they were so good, and then Jimmy put like they were all good. And I stole all of them.
Who?
All of your memes that everyone made are now in my phone.
Your hard
and I'm
work is
gonna
now
drop
ours.
it. Exactly.
There was a
But-
disclaimer at the bottom.
There was a
It's for
disclaimer.
marketing.
There was a disclaimer, right?
No.
Well,
Dude,
you better
I
disclaim
go
now.
when I go out on the internet, I steal every meme. Do you think like I asked to steal people's
What's
memes?
the thing with memes? I really don't get it.
What are you not under? What part of are you not understanding?
Standing. You get to slap those suckers up for whatever mood or situation you might need.
They're
it for.
funny and they're like, oh my god, how do I?
I'm old.
Jim, do you like memes?
Yeah, I think they're funny.
Do you
Don't
steal
get me
all
wrong.
the good ones?
I do steal some sometimes.
And
I'm
then
like,
you
I'll
send
make
them to
my
your
own.
friends, and then
So what you're telling me
I make
is,
my own
when
too.
you put those up there, you're not witty enough to come up with something funny yourself.
no, you share them with the. I make my own.
Or
Some are
or
funny, some are
completely-
dumb.
Or a complete.
Some are really dumb,
a lot
but
of
that's
the ones Pee-wee does go over my head. I'm not gonna lie.
because he doesn't understand. He's not. You're not.
I do
in-
not like the SpongeBob. I'm out.
I love the SpongeBob one.
Here, make a meme out of that. I'm out.
Of just you just getting up like this.
I'm out.
No, I like. There's a bunch of good ones.
So who were the winners?
Jordan Jenkins.
Got first place, and he gets
Yeah.
a hat.
He gets a hat, but there's a twist.
There's a twist.
And then Jimmy Roberts took second, and Klein took third. But Jimmy needs a hat, and Jordan's like, "Can I just take the shirt? Can we do that?" I'm like,
Oh, okay.
"I'll allow it."
Okay.
So,
And all of them,
fuck, I need to message him and ask him what size shirt.
all of them are gonna get stickers too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But just give us a week, because we aren't gonna have time to cut stickers tonight.
I can probably get. Well, Jimmy, I'm supposed to ship him an airbox,
Okay.
so I'll throw the hat in. This is boring.
But
I'll
anyway,
talk to these guys already.
I just wanted to post it on here, and we're gonna do that because we got some shit sitting around here, and like I said, we need to sell some stuff because we need some other. Pee Wee needs a gimbal now.
Yeah, I do need a gimbal.
We got the freaking tripod.
It's either that or I'm going to jerry rig my Garmin GPS sandbag to hold the phone. That's about the best I can do right now.
Don't let Pee Wee do this. Come on, folks.
It's getting all
Send your dollars now so Pee Wee
Don't
can
send
afford.
nothing. Just buy this. Just buy our shit. And then
Wait,
we'll have money.
I'm doing the Sarah McLachlan thing. Hold on a minute.
Fuck Sarah McLachlan. Is that even how you say her name?
For only $1 a day, you can help Pee Wee get a gimbal. Don't let us hurt these
That's a
poor
fun
kittens
name,
and
gimbal.
puppies.
Who named it a gimbal?
I don't know. I'm not really.
I'm still learning how to use yours.
And I'm not gonna hurt puppies and kittens,
The-
just so you know.
The gimbal comes from airplanes, aviation.
There's something
That
in
makes- that
airplane
makes
aviation called a gimbal.
The gimbal is what lets a plane know that it's driving level. or
Jim, are
flying
you
level.
okay over there? You look like you're falling over.
And basically, it does the same
This
thing like
shit,
your
we
phone
gotta go
does.
eat. We
You got
need to
your
get
phone.
fresh
Take
air.
a picture of him over there. Come here.
It's
Yeah. Anyway,
This poor guy.
so like I said, we were talking about how to help get people to help us spread the word, and we got.
Help us help you
you guys
to make
can't
better
concentrate.
podcasts by buying our merch.
I
please.
want to
Hey.
shoot videos that look better.
We've been waiting till January 1st so we can get weed, and the whole time fiberglass resin's legal.
We've been sleeping on the fiberglass resin, and you could just go to Walmart and buy it. Who knew?
For
Anyway.
way cheaper, no less.
Dude, that's
What's a can of
$15,
resin cost?
and I'm high as fuck.
So we did that project for under. Well,
That'll be about $50.
it'll be
Yeah.
about $50.
But
The eBay special.
so, guys, we appreciate you watching. Help us out. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your grandma really needs to watch the show. Let her know. Have her subscribe.
Share the memes and tell everyone that isn't on it that they suck. Because I noticed like
And we love
some
that.
guerrilla marketing actually worked.
We love Donnie Rock. He told us to fuck off in the last video.
I don't blame him. So.
We are going to bring the two XB1s and the XB2s together now. We are going to live in harmony.
I don't think everybody's on the same page with you, Jim.
Okay.
I spaced for a second. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, so we're going to go eat some tacos and
We need 10 minutes of fresh air before we do
and sniff
anything.
some more fiberglass resin. It was good talking to you guys. We'll see you later.
See ya.
With your with your with your feet in the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it. Yeah, you had a collapse, but there's nothing in it. You'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the water, see it swimming. I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind the rocks, except little fish, but they told me swears trying to talk to me. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind?
My name is Ira Lokshin, otherwise known as the Gray Ghost. I am located here in the beautiful desert of California, Palmdale to be exact, and my club affiliation is Team Full Scale.
All right. Can you tell us about the make and model of your project?
I drive a 2008 Scion XB. which has been worked on only by me and my club members.
Aww. Alright, so what's your favorite mod that you have done to your XB?
My favorite mod, honestly, I'd have to say the wrap. It's something that we did ourselves. It represents the ship that the car is actually named after, which my grandparents met on. So I would go with the vinyl. I mean, with everything else that's done to the car, that's the direction I would go.
Alright, so what made you choose the XB?
Oh God, I don't want to admit this, but I bought the XB to hang out with my daughter. After she became a certain age, shooting and weekend events were no longer as exciting, and she joined this small club out here called Psychotics. But ironically enough, a lot of the guys I went to school with were in that club, and it only made sense, to hang out with my kid more, to go out and get the vehicle. I like the Gen 2 more than the Gen 1, simply because I'm a bigger person and I'm more sophisticated.
That's hard to believe. Anyway, so what are the future plans for the Ghost?
Oh, God. Well, if you ask my wife, the car's done. But I would like to remove the wrap, have the car actually painted. I looked at the vinyl as a tool for a painter that sees what I want and then can add their spin to it. I'm not a painter. So there it is, it's a template basically.
Yeah, it might look like a melted Starburst if you paint it. So what are the favorite shows you've attended?
Oh God, there's been a bunch. Anything 742 Marketing does is by far, some of the best shows I've been to with Race Wars, Illis in Vegas. Hopefully this new year coming up we'll be hitting more of them around the country. Spocom was awesome. I knew I wasn't going to win anything at Spocom simply because I cannot beat a Supra, even if it was upside down and on fire. So Spocom was pretty rad. I had mixed feelings about going, but because of what the car represents and the love I have for our military, it got exactly what it needed, and that was the exposure.
And you are an attention whore.
I do like the attention.
All right, so which shows you wish you could attend?
All right, well that's tricky.
Yeah, bitch, you've gotten into things I haven't been able to.
Yeah, well, I say it's tricky only because we do a lot with the import scene, but we are part of the Southern California Mini Truck Council, and there's a lot of mini truck runs I'd love to go do. Actually, why we're filming this right now is a weekend to remember, and that's being thrown by Freaks of Nature at State Line right now,
Yep.
Rest in peace, Chugs. I would like to do Hot Import Nights, but I think that I'm about, 8 years too late to do that, especially with a Scion. It's tricky because
you don't own an FRS.
Well, yeah, I don't have an FRS. I don't have, a Supra. At the end of the day, it's, sheet metal in the shape of a rectangle. And that's how Hot Import Nights looks at it, so.
Alright, so if you didn't have this XB, what would you be driving instead?
That's tricky, because I have two loves. I have the love of being low and slow, and then I have the small penis syndrome of being in a 4Runner that's raised. So, I would have to go with the 1967 Lincoln Continental. Is the car that I've always loved. I'm a history buff, so it is the same make and model as the that Kennedy was shot in. But any Lincolns are the best thing that ever happened to Ford.
That's interesting. So you want a boat?
A Jew canoe.
All right. So what new trends would you like to see started?
So, new trend-wise, I want to see more diversity in the vehicles. I want to see more acceptance. I want to be able to go to a show and be able to park next to a sick-ass rat rod, or a $400,000 or $500,000 supercar, and everyone to be looked at for the love of the automobile.
I think we're recording now. So anyway.
Are you the police?
No, ma'am. We're musicians.
Scion, douchebag. Everyone I know has a big butt.
They built for speed or for comfort? What you do with them? Motorboat? Play the motorboat?
Paging Mr. Herman.
I live for this shit!
I'm trying to use the phone!
We're on a mission from God.
Sure is spooky out here. Probably just a dog. Kitty. Where's those headlight glasses?